You're flipping through resumes, and you have selected a candidate for the position which you are looking to fill. You take a closer look, and you find out that there is a gap in employment. After a further inquiry, you realize that this person is a convicted felon. What do? You toss it aside because you believe this is the worst person you could hire. Trust me. This is most likely to be your most successful employee. 81% of felons go back to crime after getting out of incarceration. What they are seeking isn't crime, it's hustle. When I was an inmate, my hustle was milk. I know. You might ask, what's the value of milk? But value is typically determined by its rarity. A 16-year-old tried as an adult does not have much value, but milk did. I made trades and deals with milk. I even mailed my mother a Mickey Mouse made out of toilet paper, which was in fact traded for milk. That was the hustle in me. Now think about the person that made that Mickey Mouse. Would he enjoy to create and sell art? Does he know how to? Or maybe he wouldn't enjoy creating it, but welding it? Society needs to teach people how to harness the hustle. Because before they were criminals, they were hustlers. Or just to say another word, entrepreneurs. How do I know? I migrated to this country when I was 10 years old. And by the age of 16, I was incarcerated with multiple felonies. By all measures, I should have amounted to nothing. Instead, I became a 7-figure business owner by the age of 26. I became the person flipping through the resumes. And here's what I learned. Not all felons are bad people. In fact, many are some of the most adaptable, effective, and loyal employees, and the very reasons that got them to that point are often what makes them the most successful under the right circumstances and with the right community support. Our past explains us, yes, but it doesn't define us. Every challenge gives us a choice to stay trapped into the story we were given or to pick up a pen and write a new chapter. And sometimes we need help to begin the writing. Most people remember that one time that they were doing something they shouldn't have been doing. And for whatever reason, you never got caught. Was that mistake, which was made outside of the workplace, enough for success to elude you forever? For many people, that one mistake changes the trajectory of their entire lives. But let's take it one step further. You did get caught. You learned a lesson. You might have even spent some time in jail. What did that cost you? Your job, your family, your reputation? Wouldn't that experience make you more resilient, hungrier, more determined to never make that mistake again? Instead of accepting the terms and conditions of stigma, what if we add one more chapter to the employee handbook? One that teaches employers how to thoughtfully consider felons as potential employees. One that teaches communities how to help reintegrate them back into society. And one that teaches them how to become better employees and/or entrepreneurs. The day of my release, I was excited. I ran around the courthouse. I could feel my heart bumping fast, being out of breath, and at the same time, being grateful for it. As my breath calmed, my mind began racing. What now? Imagine release day, but this time you're prepared. You didn't just learn how to do your laundry or fold clothes. You came out with an electrician's license, a plumbing license, and why not? Maybe even a business plan. Your hustle was pointed into the right direction because idle things grab the wrong things. Idle time grabs the wrong things. We need a new contract for felons. one that teaches how to go from crime back into hustle, prison sentences into skill, and pain into purpose. Now, you might ask, what does this matter to me? I've never committed a crime. How does this affect me or my family? The answer is simple. You're already paying for it. In 2024, the United States spent over $121 billion on incarceration. This money comes from income taxes, property taxes, sales tax, and federal debt. So whether you realize it or not, this reaches directly into your wallet. Prisons are meant to protect the public and prepare inmates to successfully reintegrate back into society. For some, incarceration is separation. For most, it's supposed to be rehabilitation. Yet we're spending staggering amounts without consistently achieving neither. The $121 billion funds food, utilities, healthcare, aging infrastructure. These are necessary costs, but they grow larger as incarceration grows larger. So even if you've never committed a crime, this system affects your taxes, your labor market, and the safety and economic health of your community. The question isn't whether prison spending impacts you. The question is, are you getting a return? As an entrepreneur, I believe the prison budget could be radically reduced, and that by doing so, we could radically improve lives. Not just morally, but socially, economically, and many other ways. Prison is hard, but not for the reasons people think. One of the most dangerous things about prison is idle time. Nothing to do, nothing to build, nothing to work toward. Idleness breeds frustration. Frustration then turns into violence, and then the inmate's released. After 10 years of incarceration, they haven't learned a trade. They didn't pick up another skill. They know books by heart, but so what? How do they make money? In many cases, prison feels safer than freedom, because at least inside, life is predictable. Prison labor already exists. The question isn't whether inmates work. The question is, who benefits? The government uses taxpayer money to pay itself. This isn't efficiency. This is circular spending. Meanwhile, the government owns hundreds of thousands of buildings. And in 2023 alone, it spent over $10 billion maintaining them. The repairs were deferred. The backlog now exceeds $370 billion. That's almost $500 billion. This is not a budget issue. This is a leadership issue. Now think of a different system. One where people were trained, certified, and licensed in skilled trades while incarcerated. And they used those skills to maintain those government-owned buildings. Taxpayers would save money, communities gained workers, and most importantly, the very people that would normally become repeat offenders become taxpayers themselves. This isn't just rehabilitation. It's an investment. And it's not about being soft on crime. It's about being smart with money and serious about outcomes. So here's the solution. Not more spending, but a smarter structure. Inmates choose a licensed trade path that aligns their prison sentences. Anything construction, HVAC, plumbing, electricity. Over time, they earn real credentials and real experience. inmate earnings offset incarceration costs, and fund post-release housing. 90 days before the release day, job placement begins. They walk out with a job, housing, a license, and a real path forward. No more scrambling. No more returning to survival mode. I vividly remember the time that we were renovating our current office space. I hired a contractor. After the job was finished, I came to realize that no permits were pulled. Essentially, this means the job was not done. I was very stressed. I had to spend more money in less time to do the job again. A friend called me. He said, "George, I can help you." I asked how. He said, "I'm an ex-convict. If I fixed my life, I can fix your property." And that he did. Prison was never meant to be a holding cell for failure. It was meant to protect society, but ideally to improve it. If we invest in people while they're inside, we're not just releasing inmates. We're releasing workers, taxpayers, neighbors, contributors. Because when we give people a real path forward, we're not just investing in individual lives. We're strengthening an entire country. One inmate, one life, one change at a time. Thank you.